My life needs fixing. Have you ever asked yourself that? Have you ever asked yourself that? No? Yeah? Well, somewhat. It's a similar question, but it's not. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we're talking about today. Roll it. Alright guys, so today's video is a start to a series of videos on this topic. My life needs fixing topic. It doesn't need fixing in the same way as it needs just a motivational push in the right direction. And there's all these areas of life that we always say, my life needs fixing on it. I'm going to start this video in a response to somebody who feels like they've hit rock bottom. And the idea behind it is, you know, do we really need to start everywhere? See, specific to this, and I've had several emails on this, but a lot of the time people feel like they've hit rock bottom when they've broken up with their boyfriend or girlfriend, or they're going through a divorce, and it kind of seems, because so much changes comes with that, and then it's also when they lose a job and they don't know what to do, or they have to pay their bills and, you know, income's not coming in. The idea behind fixing up your life is to look at several things that really you can focus on and really get your life moving in the right direction. Firstly, priorities. And priorities are what we always confuse. We never look at priorities as something to really focus on and understand. We just kind of let it become part of it. I have a lot of people that I coach that when I ask them what are your priorities, you know, they always say their kids if they have kids, or their wife or their husband if they have that, or their boyfriends or their girlfriends, and they're like their priorities. They never really say, you know, my business is my priority, my career is my priority. It's always another person. And I often wonder when they're talking and they're kind of like going through this process of what happens if we break up, or they're going through divorce and they're trying to fix it. I try to figure out where their head's at with regards to what's occurring. So what I'm getting at is that when I look at it, my question is, what if the person leaves? What if that priority that you have leaves? Now you're in trouble because your other priorities aren't as high as that priority. You've made them that pinnacle, that number one thing that you need to achieve. How healthy is this? It's not healthy, because you're placing somebody on a pedestal, and when that pedestal, you know, they're not on that pedestal anymore. It's the same thing when you look at a narcissist who puts somebody on the pedestal and then they kick them off. The person has put the other person on a pedestal as well, and by other person, a narcissist, and then they're taken off the pedestal, but the narcissist still stays up there. Same mentality. Priorities need to be about your happiness. You need to look at it from a perspective of what is the best for you. The people in your life, no matter who they are, well, these people are there to share in your happiness. They're there to share in your pursuit, in your passions, to be awesome. This is what they're there for. They're not there for you to make them a priority and have your life about them. How does this help? Well, when somebody's going through a divorce and we walk them through this process of realigning with themselves and what they want and what they need, well, their priorities start to change, and then they don't feel as entangled and as needy to be needy, I guess, to that person. They're not obligated to say yes every time, and they're able to say no. They're also able to achieve a happiness even though the divorce is occurring, even though the breakup is happening, even though they know that the best outcome is only this and they really wanted this. But now they know they can work to that. They know that, hey, I might not have the kids as much as I want, but I can work to having more time with the kids. When have I seen people's marriages not go through divorce after they started the process? It's when they walked backwards and they looked and analyzed at the whole situation, and then they walked back into it knowing that the person could be gone. And once they started doing that, they started focusing on themselves and what makes them happy, and they started reanalyzing what they need from each other. And then all of a sudden, they made accommodations, and bada bing, bada boom. It's not as easy as it sounds, though. I'm just so you know, it took months and some years, okay? But they realized what they wanted. what they needed and what made them happy. So what happens when you go through a breakup, when you understand your priorities and you have these values behind them? Well, now you know that you can live without the other person. You know if that person left tomorrow, you'd be okay because you've achieved so much. The whole point of being with people is so they can grow. Once you can grow and you keep growing, well, the relationships get stronger. But once you stop growing, the relationships weaken. And this is a fact of life that anybody can observe just by looking. Take some time while you're saying my life needs fixing and really ask yourself, does it? Does it need fixing everywhere? Or does it need to be fixed in certain areas, like realigning your priorities for what is needed for you to achieve your happiness, for you to find that passion and start moving towards it so that you can work with the people in your life so you can actually achieve that passion. It's a hard thing to do, probably one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do, but it will be priceless in the long run. Remember that you are the only person that can figure this stuff out, nobody else. Remember that you need to work at this. And if you don't work on it, accept what is. Don't say my life needs fixing because you're just making it more negative. Just let it be and just roll on every day, doing the same thing day in, day out. So watch this video several times and ask yourself, what can I do with my partner if they're there, or by yourself or with other people in your life? What can I do to get my priorities straight so that I can start looking at moving my next 5-10 years into that happy state where I'm working towards my passions and life is moving in a happy sense in the right direction. This is Nico's RentlessMentorsApproach.com. Tell me, what are the things you're thinking about this topic? Fixing a life and how you need to fix it. Are priorities where you think they should be? Comment below, like, and of course, subscribe.